Hey, this is Jeff. Welcome back to Coito Ergo Sum, Let's Talk More Action, a series which just can't wait to have some turkey. Last week, we convinced Kekata to travel around the Mojave with us, but she needs some time to get ready. While we wait, I had a few things to do here at Lollipops. First, she's going to have to pose for the magazine if we want a perfect score tribal theme issue, and I wouldn't ask anyone to do something I wouldn't do myself, especially my girlfriend. So...
Yes?
would you take some pictures of me for the magazine?
Of course.
Posing is different for the player than it is for NPCs, obviously. First, you need to step into the green screen area in the studio to start the photo shoot. And while NPCs and the player use the same characteristics to determine how much a model will boost sales of an issue they're in, appearance, attitude, and appeal. For NPCs, those attributes are based on their in-game lore and persona, but for the player, it's on the honor system, because Courier 6's appearance and attitude is entirely up to you. Posing for your own adult magazine is truly leading by example. Congratulations. You just need to answer a couple of questions before you begin. First, how would you describe your appearance? And this is much easier when you're playing a character that isn't a face gen of yourself. Yeah, if I give myself the highest appearance bonus, you're either going to think I'm an egomaniac or a cheater. Well, I have been compared to a Greek god, so let's go with that. It was Dionysus, but never mind. How would you describe your behavior in front of the camera? Yeah, the attitude bonus is kind of awkward, too. My nickname is Courier Sex. Because sex is Latin for six, and I'm idolized by Caesar's legion. Well, technically, my nickname is Nuntius Sex, but close enough. And mercifully, the player's appeal bonus is determined by game stats, like your level and faction reputation, so I don't have to rate myself on that. Feel free to change into something sexy and pose for the camera. To end the photo shoot, just leave the green screen area. Now, as long as you're behind that line, you can change clothes, get naked. If you have a player pose mod, you can use that, and Handy will take pictures the whole time. But that's really just for immersion. Like I said about NPCs, the in-game photo shoot has nothing to do with the in-game magazine covers. If you want that to look like your character, you need a screenshot, and you need to do a little work outside the game. I actually did a tutorial on that earlier this year. Belthan can link to it in the description. And by sheer coincidence, I used this character, so I don't need to pose or change outfits. I can just walk back out of the green screen area, and we'll be done. You're about to leave the green screen area where the photographer's working. Do you want to end the photo shoot? Yes, I'm done. I also wanted to check on the saloon finances while I'm here. I'm trying to drive the business into the ground so I can buy out Hilly's shares for next to nothing. Oh yes! The plan is working perfectly. 6 pros and only 1 customer yesterday. We are hemorrhaging cash, and the share price is down another 4. And it's probably safe to put up some more posters, so we can hire another pro and 1 more mouth to feed. And finally, I want to talk to Fiona. I got her something even rattier than her old rags. Because, if your gimmick is that you're filthy Fiona, I figured in for a penny, in for a pound. Anyway, there's an unmarked quest that you can do to get her to clean up her act, a little bit at least, and I wanted to show you that in the old walkthrough, but there was just no way I could pull it off with that character.
Hey, sweetie.
This time it really shouldn't be a problem, although I am going to have to do a bit of the main quest to get to the point where I can complete the objectives for her. We need to hear her story to get it, and the dialogue to ask her about it gets unlocked when you see her do something depraved. There are at least 2 events I know will trigger it, one of which I don't want to do, and the other we just need to wait for her to go to bed, which she does after she stops dancing. By go to bed, I mean huffs jet, drinks herself into a stupor, and passes out. Oh yeah, puking in a urinal is just the beginning. It gets worse. Yep, she just lays down in it.
Hey, man, do me a solid. Hilly, cut me off.
Oh, I only have the one option because I don't have any recreational chems or booze in my inventory, but I wouldn't give you anything if I did. You have clearly had more than enough.
Yeah, well, if I get the DTs, you know who's to blame then.
She still doesn't have the dialogue option to ask about her problem. I really thought seeing her passed out under the urinal unlocks it. Goodbye.
Later.
Sometimes quests update on a timer. I'll give it a few seconds and talk to her again. Well, the other thing I know unlocks it is doing a quality control check, which means have sex with her, and I'm not so enthusiastic about that option. Actually, let's talk about your hygiene first.
Whatever.
I used the polite option last time, so go upstairs and get a shower, or I will drag you by that greasy rat nest you call hair.
You really would, wouldn't you? Fine.
So whichever option you pick there, Fiona will go upstairs and take a shower, and she'll get clean. But she'll only stay that way for about a day, and then she goes back to this appearance. Anyway, I'm going to take one for the team and have sex with her so that I can show you that quest. But my commitment to the viewers does have some limits. Ordinarily, I don't judge people on their appearance, but she was just sleeping under a filthy urinal in a pile of her own vomit, so I'm not touching her until she gets a shower. While we're waiting, I might as well show you the rest of this floor. The padded room is for orgies, I guess. The second floor has more conventional rooms where the pros presumably take most of their customers, but up here we have a couple of specialty rooms. The other one being the dungeon room, which would be nice for B&D fantasies and that kind of thing.
Hey, baby, you wanna... Shit, you're not a customer.
You're messed up. I'd better do a quality control check.
Wait right there. I just need an ear corn, cup of ice, and some duct tape.
We need to talk, Fiona. That's just wrong.
If hiring whores bothers your conscience, maybe you should try not running a whorehouse.
Might as well stick with the impatient options. I don't have a conscience. I do have a temper.
I draw my share, maybe more. What's your problem?
The problem is, I want to know what kind of messed up baggage I'm dealing with.
Come on, you don't really want to hear it, and I don't want to tell it. Just let it go.
You're wrong. On both counts, I think.
Fine. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Let's hear it.
I had a man once, a good one. Handsome, honest, great in bed. He ran off to fight the Legion when they got too close. I begged him not to go, but he said he had to do it, to protect me. I hear the Legion doesn't treat women so good. I think that upset him, thinking about what if it was me. Well, he got himself killed. Yep, thanks for the protection, honey.
You aren't the only one who lost somebody in the war.
I'm the only one who lost somebody like him. He was one of a kind.
Go on.
His CO wrote me a real nice letter, but that NCR prick wouldn't give me the widow's pension on account of us not being married. That is, unless I filed some special paperwork in private.
Nice. What did you do?
Did what I had to do. Then I drank my blues away, along with most of the pension. What was left is smoked. Figure you know the rest.
You were right. I didn't need to hear that.
You asked me because you thought I'd earn more if I wasn't so sloppy, right? Okay, Mad Dog, I have a proposition for you.
What do you need?
You kill that son of a bitch Caesar and you send that NCR warmonger President Kimball to hell right alongside of him. And when you put a bullet in their heads, you tell them Fiona said, "Thanks for taking my baby away." You do that, maybe I'll sober up some.
All right. Goodbye.
See you. Now where'd I put my drink?
Now, she actually will clean up if you kill them both, which is the unmarked quest. And I don't mean she won't look dirty anymore. She cuts back on the booze and chems, she has different dialogue options, and she doesn't sound as wasted. And where is she? I just want to make sure she didn't get lost between floors. She probably went back to sleep in the bathroom. No? Did she get back on stage?
Hello, cutie.
Have you tried the new whiskey he's stocking? It's something special.
Well, that was Angie sleeping in the dressing room. Is she in the kitchen? I can't believe she actually did get lost between floors. Oh, there she is. Yep. She gets a shower and she's going right back to sleep on the bathroom
Hey,
floor.
sweetie.
Hey, Angie.
Angie, how do you get your hair that color? I could use a whole bottle of peroxide and no one would even notice.
Oh, that's classic. I haven't heard that one in ages.
You humans have
Kelly,
such
I
weak
know
stomachs.
I tease you sometimes, but what the hell was that thing you shot outside? Do you get this a lot? Because, ew.
Oh, that was just a baby. You ain't seen the biggins yet. Don't you worry, darling. I'll protect you.
How about some of that whiskey?
Anyway, since I'll be running all over the Mojave to give Kekata a guided tour, put up posters, recruit magazine models, we can assassinate a couple world leaders while we're out. Hopefully she's ready to go by now. Is that her?
I'm all set. Are you ready?
Your hair looks nice, but I wasn't lying when I said I liked the mohawk.
It's a wig. There's a boutique full of them in the ruins, so I figured, why not?
There's no time like the present. Let's go.
Will we dip a toe with a few geckos first? Or jump right into the deep end fighting hordes of raiders? No, don't tell me. Let it be a surprise.
And is she following? Yes, she is. Okay, let's go back to the house and get her some better gear. In fact, what does she have? Well, I'll check when we get there. The separate pieces from the War Dramatic generally add up to the same damage threshold as the vanilla outfit they're based on, like the separate Merc Grunt boots, pants, and shirt from the War Dramatic add up to about the same as the vanilla Merc Grunt armor. Maybe slightly higher because of rounding error. The Paw Rump tribal outfits don't have a vanilla equivalent. The gecko hide top might be okay, but I'm guessing the loincloth and foot wraps are 0, or 1 tops. So at a minimum, we'll want to give her some pants and boots. And here's our first relationship litmus test. Show her my handgun collection, totally unlocked, sitting out on a shelf. So let's see what she has.
For me?
Loincloth is 1, top is 2, foot wraps are 0. Wig patterns. Guess she got that the same place as the wig. Take that and we can make wigs with the War Dramatic. So let's make her some pants and boots. The leather armor boots work better with shorts. They clip just a tiny bit with the Merc Grunt pants, but I can live with it for the extra point of damage threshold. If we go any place with serious enemies, I'll give her some serious armor first. And it's always a good idea to be fully hydrated before going out. I noticed her hunting rifle didn't show up in her inventory, which means it's a companion weapon, which is good because I won't have to split my 308 ammo with her. I have more than I can carry in storage, so that's not a big deal, but the real benefit is it probably does pretty decent damage if it's a unique weapon. Anyway, let's give her her first taste of the big city, and then get to the next relationship litmus test. How does she feel about revenge killings?
They say this is what the old world was like. Lots of flash, but not much substance.
You know, if you saw my Fallout 4 walkthrough, you know I take role-playing pretty seriously, and that's true even when I'm basically playing myself. Now, I wouldn't be proud of doing something out of character just for convenience, but the even less flattering truth is, while I've never slept with a filthy prostitute who has severe emotional and substance abuse problems a few hours before my first date with a woman I'm really interested in having a relationship with, I have made mistakes in that idiom. So let's just chalk that up to a bachelor party, wild oats kind of thing and move on.
Hey there, pal. Welcome to the Tops. And what can I do for you today?
I think you should know something about Benny.
Really? You got something to say about the big boss, huh? Well, why don't you say it to his face instead of yapping at me?
I don't think you're going to like it. Seems Benny's been making his own play.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Benny tried to kill me and stole a platinum chip I was hired to deliver.
That doesn't... Why would he pull a stunt like that? Got anything else to offer?
Yeah, I have evidence.
Yeah? What else you got?
I found these cigarette butts by the grave he buried me in.
Huh. Well, yeah, okay, these are Benny's brand, and they ain't too common. You got anything else?
I found this lighter in Boulder City. He dropped it when he killed his partners.
Yeah, that looks like Benny's lighter, all right. Still, not exactly a ton of proof. Got anything else, kid?
That's it. What do you think?
Jesus, kid, I think we got a real problem on our hands. Can't believe Benny's a no-good stinking punk, trying to play house like that. Tell you what, I'll call Benny, keep him away from his suite. You go search the place. Here's the key, it's on the 13th floor. It's a room with the double doors, can't miss it. Maybe you'll find something we can show to Mr. House and get him arrested.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly what I had in mind. I'm gonna whack him.
Take him out? Jesus. Okay, well, if you think that's the best way to deal with this, I'll send him up to his room, you can ambush him there. And don't worry about the rest of the chairman. I'll keep him from getting involved. You'll still have to watch out for Benny's guards, though.
All right, let's do it.
Here's your stuff back. In case Benny don't go quiet, you dig? I'll tell the boys to give you a pass to pack some heat. Go on then. Elevators are past the slot machines on your right.
Damn. Survived a sneak attack headshot. Didn't remember him being that tough. My character in the old walkthrough was useless in combat. She snuck up on him, said, "Word of advice, Benny. Never shoot someone in the face when you can shoot him in the back." And then missed. It became kind of a running joke that she'd deliver an action movie one-liner and then epic fail.
Hey! Hi there! Good to meet you. What can I do for you today?
What is this place?
This is Benny's workshop. When the Tops got renovated, he had this half of the floor blocked off for his own use. I guess you could say it's my entire world. I don't think I've ever left this room, but that's okay. I'm not complaining.
What are you doing here?
Good question. My function is to monitor Mr. House's data network and decode his encrypted transmissions. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a PDQ-88B Securitron, but you can call me Yes Man.
Shouldn't you be working for Mr. House? How'd you end up here?
As I understand it, I used to be just like all those other Securitrons out on the strip. But then my neurocomputational matrix was completely reprogrammed. To be nice! Very, very nice!
Benny reprogrammed a Securitron? Find that hard to believe.
Oh, he had some help. A lady friend of his. She said something about living in a fort over in Freeside. But that's all I remember.
Have you seen this platinum chip before?
Sure. Benny had me look at it a bunch of times. It's a data storage device, kind of like a holotape, but a lot more advanced. As for what's on it, well, some of Mr. House's data transmissions made it sound like the chip could upgrade his defenses somehow. That's just a guess, though. The chip's a proprietary format. You need special hardware to read the data on it. There are 2 locations with non-standard hardware on the network. The Lucky 38 and an underground facility at Fortification Hill. I'd look there!
What was Benny planning to do with it?
Oh, he wanted to kill Mr. House and use the platinum chip to copy my neurocomputational matrix onto the Lucky 38's mainframe. That would give me control over all of Mr. House's defenses, most prominently his Securitrons. And then, I guess, I just do as I'm told.
Can that actually be done?
Sure! If the chip can be used to reset administrator privileges, it'll be super easy.
Say I wanted to take over New Vegas myself. What then?
Then I'd have to help you. I mean, it seems pretty obvious Benny wouldn't have wanted me to, but hey, not my fault I can't say no.
All right, goodbye.
Hope to see you soon.
Oh boy. What's wrong? The cold-blooded murder, the plotting to take over New Vegas, or Fiona?
What is it?
Nope, her face was just stuck in combat mode. Good.
The eyes of the mighty Kaisar are upon you. He appreciates your service and bestows upon you the exceptional gift of his mark. My lord requires your presence at his camp at Fortification Hill. His mark will guarantee your safe conduct through our lands. Seek Kaisar by way of Cottonwood Cove, south of Nelson. The Kursorlu Kulus will be waiting.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver?
What's going to happen at the fort?
You'll be meeting face-to-face with the mighty Kaisar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Kaisar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. Not even tribal chieftains receive this honor.
Who are you calling dissolute?
All who are not Legion are dissolute. They live in squalor, unrestrained by morality, lacking moderation, temper, and self-control. Their very existence is a blight on the common good. Even worse are the profligates, the subtype of dissolute one finds this side of the river. They hold themselves to be civilized, when in fact they are corrupt and self-interested. The truth will be made clear to them soon enough.
Whatever you say, pal. What have I done to earn this honor?
You'd know better than I would, but you must be remarkable for Kaisar to take such an interest.
All right, let's go.
The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat. By order of Kaisar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. This order also extends to the platinum chip you carry. For now.
These people can afford to treat women as property, but they call their enemies decadent. By their own definition, they've already lost.
Oh, I agree completely. I've done them a few favors when it was mutually beneficial, but just because they like me doesn't mean I support their agenda.
You're the courier who caused so much trouble for my legion, and yet you dare come before me. The garrison I established at Nelson has been wiped out. Years of meticulous scheming to place a mole at Camp McCarran. Wasted. The kings of Freeside are cooperating with the NCR now, which frees up soldiers to defend the dam. So tell me this, because I really want to know. I am feared, with good reason. But you, of all people, dare to come here and stand before me, the mighty Kaisar. What were you thinking?
What? NCR Rangers took Nelson. I was just an observer, never fired a shot. And I saved the monorail because I use it. What was the other thing? Freeside. Okay, A, You had nothing to do with Freeside, and B, I was helping the Kings, not the NCR. Any benefit they got from that was purely a side effect. You are really reaching for a reason to act all pissy and threaten me. Anyway, I'm going to need that platinum chip back.
We'll talk about the platinum chip when the time comes. In the meantime, you do know why I wanted to meet you, right? A man nearly kills you, so you track him across the breadth of the Mojave. You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat. You assassinate the head of the chairman in his own casino and get away with it. When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started?
Started on what?
The time is fast approaching when my legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching.
Mm-hmm. Just give me the platinum chip and I'll be on my way.
Oh, I'll give you the platinum chip, and then you'll use it exactly like I tell you to.
Okay, let's hear it.
Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch, and inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip you were carrying. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried.
And once I'm inside?
I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Goodbye.
Conveniently, that's where I was headed anyway.
None may enter without Caesar's permission.
So the Legion's legendary conditioning program is twist into the oldies. Who knew?
Caesar has permitted your weapons to be returned to you while you serve him.
It's about time. Hand them over.
Caesar has put a lot of trust in you. Be worth it.
Insert the chip.
Well, you're here ahead of schedule. I suppose it's just as well. This is where I wanted you to end up after all. I knew I could rely on Caesar to give you back the platinum chip. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control any of the facility's systems. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking at. I like to think you have enough sense to do the right thing. The rewards for doing so are immense, as are the punishments for not doing so.
You know, sooner or later these people are going to figure out that I do not respond well to threats. And we'll just deactivate the security system. Hesitation. Oh, cool. First guess. Ironically, with no hesitation. Cancel security alert. That takes care of the robots. Turrets. Two matching letters. No. Could be. Nice. As long as we don't provoke anybody, we can just run straight to the console. Radiation poisoning. Is this really the first time I've ever been over 200 rads? That's hard to believe. Well, take some rad away. Might as well pop a Rad-X too. Man, Radaway doesn't do shit in hardcore mode. Look at that. I'm still at 150 rads or something. And taking wrong turns isn't helping. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like stim packs. They heal over time in hardcore mode. Yeah, I'm down to like 70 rads or something now. That's better. Still doesn't mean I should dawdle, though. Insert the ship, install the upgrade, and now we have a robot army. Yeah, I'm kind of showing off for my date. Sue me.
I felt the ground shake a while ago. I'll take that as a sign you've got the job done. Let's press on, shall we? As I was telling you before, I want Mr. House out of the picture. You have an interest in his death, too. If he knows that you destroyed his gadgets beneath the fort, he will strike back. You know where to find him. How he dies, I leave up to you.
Just to be clear, I'm a murderer, not an assassin. If House ends up dead, it's because I think it's best. And, by the way, what's that machine in your tent?
It's called an autodoc. As the name suggests, it's an automated physician, more or less. He can treat broken bones, cuts, punctures, scrapes. Sometimes I bestow its use upon someone I favor. Makes for a powerful gift in a culture that forbids painkillers and is largely ignorant of medical science.
Well, that's not hypocritical at all. All right, see ya.
Complete your mission and return to me.
But first, I do not want to forget this. The proof for Regis that Caesar will betray the great Khans. And unlike the Legion, who idolize me while I barely tolerate them, the respect between the Khans and myself is mutual.
The new slave girls are quite beautiful.
Yes, I heard him. Look, I know I'm really blowing the whole first impression thing. Why don't we go meet my neighbors? The ones on the opposite side of lollipops from Paw Rump. I'd kind of like you to see that not all of my friends are assholes. Oh, cool. There's Oscar.
Papa says cut off the head and the snake will die. I guess the chairman's days are numbered.
See? The NCR wanted me to kill that guy, but I just convinced him to stop fighting instead. Another thing the Legion wouldn't be happy about if they knew about it, but again, I really didn't do it to help the NCR. I did it to help the refugees and the Khans. Regis is at his usual seat.
This reminds me of home. A little more attitude, a little less literacy, but still nice.
See? That's what I was saying.
So the NCR makes peace with the Kings now. Where was that mercy at Bitter Springs?
I wasn't at Bitter Springs. Might not have helped, but I'd have tried.
You're becoming quite the political agitator. I can't say I'm displeased.
Have a look at this book. It'll show you what happens to tribes that ally with Caesar's Legion.
Let me see. My God, this is even worse than I thought. Okay, you have my support. I'll tell Papa the alliance is a bad idea.
All right, goodbye.
Until next time.
I don't know if being detected while opening this door will turn them hostile, but it's marked red, so better safe than sorry. If you're gung-ho NCR, there's a quest to assassinate Papa Khan, and I'm sure this is marked trespassing to make that more challenging, but I just want to talk to him.
All four of my most trusted advisors have told me we should break our alliance. Maybe I should hear you out after all.
Wow. Regis must be psychic because he hasn't moved and nobody's come in or out of this room since I talked to him. Anyway, I've come to ask the great Khans to break their alliance with Caesar's Legion.
I've heard some things from my most trusted Khans that makes me wonder whether this alliance is a good idea after all. But I want to leave a legacy of greatness when I die. My tribe deserves better than this, cowering in a canyon and living on scraps. Tell me then, if I don't join with Caesar's Legion, where will I find my tribe's lost glory?
Well, speech challenge will save me some time. You don't need to look outward, mighty Khan. Your tribe is proud and strong. Claim your own glory.
Well spoken, traveler, well spoken indeed. Perhaps it's time to find our own destiny, unburdened by the past. We'll begin readying the camp to move. As soon as Caesar makes his move, we'll depart. We will make ourselves strong again, and we shall conquer.
Yeah, I hated being the one to give you the news, but you are pretty much screwed either way. Fight for Caesar and end up slaves or betray him and face his wrath. You guys have been good neighbors, but getting out of town when it hits the fan is probably your best bet.
If you should ever tire of wandering alone, seek us out. You might just have the makings of a great Khan yourself.
No, don't go overboard. We see eye to eye on a lot of things, but the whole Klingon pain stick initiation bit, pass. Ready to go? All right, I'm going to call it a day, and we can see some more sights with Kekata next week. See you then.